alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. First of all, I'd like to thank all of you here for being here with us tonight at Iftar dinner for the East African Women's Foundation. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Fatima Jama and I'll be your MC tonight. I am honoured to be able to enjoy this Iftar with you all, and I'm especially thankful to Allah, the most gracious, the most merciful, who has blessed us with this gathering and the opportunity to share a meal together. I'd like to start off by acknowledging the traditional owners on this land upon we meet today, the Wurundjeri people of the Kulin Nations. I'd like to acknowledge their elders past, present and emerging. As we all know, Ramadan is a time of sacrifice and compassion. It is shared by Muslims throughout the world, including Australia. As well as being a gesture of friendship and generosity, it gives others a valuable insight into the spirit of Islam. It is a time to reflect on the wisdom and guidance that for many of us comes with our faith. It is also an opportunity for families and friends to come together and to promote goodwill and harmony in the wider community, such as what we're trying to do here tonight. Australia is home to approximately 500,000 Muslims. Islam is our country's 4th largest religion. The Australian Muslim community is diverse and is drawn from over 60 different ethnic backgrounds. They are very much part, or I say we are very much part of the fabric of Australian society. We play an important role in every aspect of Australian life, and Australians are proud of our record in promoting the overlap of cultures. Aside from the highlight of tonight being hopefully some good wholesome food, we have lined up speeches which we hope will contribute to the aim of tonight, a night of community connectedness and a night of contributions from some of the younger members of our community. I'd like to start off by welcoming our first speaker to the microphone, Sheikh Rabi' Baiti, who I said earlier on was the Imam of the Maidstone Mosque and on the management committee of the Board of Imams, who will share with us a prayer, his thoughts on the meaning of Ramadan, mutual respect and solidarity between all of us.
Islam have made the respect and the mutual respect as one of the important matters in our life. That's why, quickly I would say this, the Prophet ﷺ did ask his companions. He said, do you know the right of the neighbors or what it is? Then he said to them, saying, help him if he asks for your help. Give him relief if he seeks your relief. Lend him if he needs a loan. Show him concern if he is distressed. Nurse him when he is ill. Attend his funeral when he dies. Congratulate him if he meets any good. Sympathize with him if any calamity befalls him. Do not block his air by raising your wall or building high without his permission. Harass him not. Give him a share when you buy fruit. And if you do not give him, bring what you buy quietly, and let not your children take them out to excite the jealousy of his children. And let not the delicious smell of your cooking hurt him, unless you give him some of it, of what you are cooking. So this part of the manners and the morals of Islam, this part of the things that we reconfirm and assure ourselves to be applying in our life, to understand the etiquette of and the manners and morals of Islam as Muslims. And I believe in Ramadan there's long time for us within the fasting time, 30 days, to apply these meanings and to perfect it the best we are. So living into an open society with different backgrounds and with beautiful neighbors, that make us more excited to exchange these practices and to show the best of Islam. Indeed, Islam as a sentence of manners and morals that came with our beloved Prophet Muhammad upon him, and we as Muslims do feel it more and shine out into our life more in the month of Ramadan. I thank the organizers for their time and for the invitation, and I know it's time for food now, so I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to grant everyone here the best of this life and the heaven, the top of the heaven hereafter, and to may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make us of those who show the beauty of Islam in their practices and behavior. He's most willing. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
My name is Kaushalya Waghela, and I am the Member of Parliament for the seat of Western Metropolitan Region. I am the Upper House MP, and I'm the first Indian-born person to enter the Victorian Parliament. Thank you. I'm honored to join you this evening. Thanks to Sister Fatun to invite me to this event to mark the holy month of Ramadan and the special tradition of Iftar. Thank you to the East African Women's Foundation for strengthening our strong and socially inclusive multicultural society. And thank you for generously sharing in the ritual of Iftar. I wish the Muslim community of Victoria and Muslims across the globe a peaceful and reflective Ramadan. Sister Fatun, my support is always with you in your good work. Ramadan Mubarak, thank you all.
There is nothing more important than humanity. Humans must respect other humans to live in peace and harmony. Celebrating Iftar together is based on the principles of tolerance and respect for one another that are deeply rooted in our community, current and next generation. During this month of Ramadan, we engage in activities to unite people, to encourage mutual trust, to share values, and to foster understandings among different multicultural and multi-religious communities. Communities that are built on a shared set of values are the foundation of strong societies. One of our values is interreligious harmony. Without interreligious harmony, we cannot achieve freedom for religion in society. As Muslims, we play a prominent role in creating societies where we coexist with our neighbours, both Muslims and non-Muslims, and live peacefully together. Through sharing Iftar, we offer religious tolerance, forgiveness, love, and better understandings among Muslims and non-Muslims. We respect all human beings from all cultural, ethnic, and religious backgrounds. We are all humans and see each other as equals. Respect for human is dignity in a fundamental principle of our religion. We respect those who do not agree with us, and when we do not agree with others, we are respectful.
Respect for others includes respecting their freedom of expression, their right to live in peace and harmony. Religious freedom and tolerance are instrumentally important in forging a better world. We recognize and respect all religions that promote peace, love, and tolerance. Islam promotes peace, love, and tolerance. Truly religious leaders from all faiths promote the values of peace, love, tolerance, and respect. Through these values, we hope for a creation of a cohesive society. We reject all forms of religious violence and attack to the holy places, both Muslim and other religions. We call on our leaders to do more to promote tolerance. We aim to tolerate, accommodate, and live in peace with one another in order to make Australia a great, peaceful, and multicultural society. We will protect places of worship, mosques, and churches to be sanctuary from those who call out for hate, division, and violence. We are the next generation of our country, and we will take responsibility to promote peace, unity, and tolerance between different faiths to build a harmonious and happy Australia.
On the authority of Abu Hurairah, peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, reported, the Messenger of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, "You will not enter paradise until you believe, and you will not believe until you love each other. Shall I show you something that, if you did, you would love each other? Spread peace among yourselves."
I want to say that, and this is something that I do tell my colleagues in Parliament when I go up there, that I never feel as warm and as welcome as I do in Melbourne as I do during the month of Ramadan, because this is a time that's a very, very important time for you and members of the Muslim community more broadly, and especially the Somali Muslim community. And I know that it's a time that's very important for you, and a time where at the start of it you'll spend time with your families, and during it you'll spend time reflecting. And so it is a real honour and a privilege that you would choose to share it with us and to spend a night like this listening to members of Parliament get up and speak and talk to you and come and share this with you. It means a lot to us, and I think I can speak on behalf of all of the members of Parliament here tonight that whatever political party we're from, this is something that is very, very meaningful for us. It's been my privilege to be the Member of Parliament for Melbourne for 8 years now, and now for 9 years, and now for another term. And what I can pledge to you, as I suspect you will find from many members of Parliament who are here tonight, but what I can pledge to you is that you will always have a friend in me, and your communities will always have a friend in me, and the East African communities and the Somali communities and all of the other, the Eritrean communities that we've got, the Ethiopian communities, the Oromo communities, will always have a voice in Parliament against hate, and to make sure that Melbourne stays a place where everyone has a place. And it's my hope that in the not too distant future, we are perhaps going to see the first African Australian elected to federal parliament.
It's important to think about what labels actually do, because sometimes I feel like we kind of throw out, some of these things that we used to describe. I was going to say you throw out the baby and the bathwater, and I realized, no, you don't throw out babies. But the reality is we sometimes think, don't use a label. Labels are identifiers. There are things we use to know that this is a thing. They're descriptors. They're things you use to tell the difference between one thing and the other. But it doesn't define all of what that thing is. So what we use labels for is to have an idea of, okay, what is this thing? But do we know what is in the thing? Do you know what it's for? Do you know how to use it? Do you know who it is used for? These are things that we then do when you talk about a human being. We're not even talking about a thing here. And so when I tell you my name, I was just introducing myself to a gentleman at my table, and I said, I was given 6 names at birth. And he said, 6 names? I said, yes. Because where I'm from, your grandma will name you. Some uncle will name you. A family friend somewhere will name you. So you might end up with 6 names or more. But I can choose to see those names and derive meaning from them and be known by those names. But it doesn't define all of who I am. It's an identifier. Same thing with my religion, same thing with my race, same thing with certain things that I might like to do. These are identifiers. They don't define all of who I am, because we're multidimensional beings. That's the way God created us. And so, as soon as we start to talk about the whole idea about Islamophobia, it's something to really put in mind, because I can't start to tell you things you know already. I can't start to tell you the challenges that you might have faced, the odd look here and there, the nasty comments, the outright vilification, the behavior that, someone will smile at you, but they're being very mean to you. I can't tell you that. Everyone would have experienced something, sometime, somehow. To be consciously aware and to identify in our character and in our community. I think that if we want to counter Islamophobia, it's not about me almost always having to defend myself against things that had nothing to do with me. Having to come out and say to myself, hey, I'm a good guy. I don't mean to do anything to you, when I had nothing to do with what has happened. But it's more about the character that we show, the smile, the helping hand, being open, being connected to not just the community, but the larger community as a whole. And I believe that, inshallah, this is how we build brighter bonds. So thank you.
The East African Women's Foundation runs many community events. It runs projects. We've got our fingers in very many pies, as well as providing casework and advocacy and support service referral for the Somali community in Melbourne. One of the things I wanted to do today, we've got a huge number of people here, all of whom have come to support the theme for today, to be together in solidarity. And we have many people here who have specifically supported the work of the East African Women's Foundation. The East African Women's Foundation tries to enrich the lives of the Somali community in Melbourne and to make their lives and their transition into living in Melbourne and Australian society easier. Ideally, we hope that we can help Somalis to build networks to support each other and to build networks with Australians outside of the Somali community and to offer mutual support.
Louder.